Hey, and welcome to today's webinar. It's always a pleasure to give you more information about live data. Thank you so much for joining, all of you. So today, we're going to dive through the Salestools platform, and we're going to give you more information about how you can access better leads faster than ever before and cut down that cumbersome prospecting from 5 hours to just 30 minutes a day. And at the same time, achieve peak performance results. So if you dive straight into Salestools, you can get access to the live data graph directly from the platform. And in fact, we're actually launching live enrichments to Salesforce as well today. So it's super exciting and it's a total game changer for each one of you. So if you dive straight into the live data graph right here, I can then go in and identify my ideal custom profiles. And there's many ways to do that. You can say, okay, I want companies for the specific Alexa rank because it's important to have a lot of visitors on the website if I'm selling some optimization technology. It could be revenue. I don't want companies with revenue lists of 1 million and so on and so forth, or funding if that's important to you. You also narrow in and go by technologies. We're actually tracking more than 2,200 technologies today. And let's take a look. Let's say I want to attack companies using, let's say HubSpot. I'm in Boston, so HubSpot is a good example. Little successful company here, $3 billion market cap, doing an amazing job in the inbound marketing space. In fact, we're running with the competitor Pato. It's a little bit ironic, but just to give you a dive in here. So I'm going to run a search right now for companies using HubSpot. Of course, I can go in by country, state, and city. So if I want HubSpot customers in London or in Boston, I can actually get that by one click. I'm just going to make a generic search for the sake of the demo here. And we also have dedupe control. So I can say, I don't want the companies I already work on. So you can see right here, if it's turned on, you can see those duplicates right here. And furthermore, I can actually go out and I can win more deals now. So let's say I'm interested in United Capital Finance. I want to reach out to Focal Point, and I also want to have Argus Cybersecurity. William Lee Tang, let's take those as well. So the way you're going to prospect, and you see here, we have 1,400 prospect in one, 1,239, 1,000 prospect right here. So we cover very deep. So the next step is simply to go in and say, I want to download account executives. So I'm just going to type in account here, refresh my data, and then I get all the account executives in each of the company. So if you look in here, I can start United Finance Capital as I want to do an account-based prospecting methodology. So return the prospect from United Capital Finance of William Lee Tag and so on and so forth, one by one, and you'll have them right here. So I can see this is a senior global account director. This is an account manager, and so on and so forth. So I just go ahead and I save each one of them. Very, very straightforward. Then I move on to Argus Cybersecurity and then Focal Point after, and so on and so forth. Super easy to use. You can also say, I want all in one. I simply want to mix all of them in one balance and then reach out. What we're launching next week is the addition of function and seniority level. It's going to be even easier to prospect. So you go in and say, I want director and in the sales role, and they'll only return the directors and sales roles in those companies, making it even easier to reach out. So very simple to prospect and reach out to companies. You can also prospect based on different criteria. There could be company size. I want 200 to 500 employees. I want them in the internet industry, and I want them to have sales in their role, for example. Then I apply the filter. I can also go by geographic region, of course, and Salestools return those prospects. So all these could potentially be customers to Salestools. So I'm actually going to go in and add them right here, and I'm going to send them each one of them an email. So I want the director of sales of SEM Rush right here. So I'm going to save them. And then they will go into the live data graph right now. So the next step, I can see you have saved, just to give an overview of the companies and the accounts. And as you'll see next week, you have role and function. So very, very intuitive to work with. So if I dive in and look at my prospects, what happens now is we're running a live verification and enrichment of their email address just to make sure that it's deliverable. So you see right here, it's spinning. It takes a couple of minutes, and when it's done, we actually show the email address. In fact, I just got a notification the first email came in and it's verified. So you see a green envelope right here. So just bear me a second, I'm refreshing the whole system. So you see right here, the first one came in, Jason, William Lee Tag. You have a few more, but for the sake of the argument, I can add a filter right here, and I'm going to say, let's just click the right buttons. I want just to find prospect I created today. So I go in creation date, I add the query, and this is the smart filters. You can work with the data as you like. Write and return only prospects created today. That makes it a little bit easier when I work around with my data. And then I can just choose all of them. And I can say, I want to start a sales process. I want to reach out to them right now. And I want to get in touch with them by a series of emails, calls, and manual task. A manual task could be, I'm going to go to Twitter, retweet them. I'm going to go to LinkedIn, send them an email, you name it. And then at the same time, I can export them to Salesforce, HubSpot, Marketo, Pipedrive, any marketing automation or CRM system that's out there, Soho. And I say, I want to send them over as a lead or a contact, and I choose then my predefined campaign. So I say live data is here. I'm going to move them over. I'm going to add them to that sequence. And voila. Now they'll be added. You see they go blue here in a second. And after they actually are synchronized to Salesforce, they will show right here the integration that is done. And we'll see the active steps that they are in right now to understand where we are in the sales process with them. We're just waiting. You see right here, the first one has been synchronized with Salesforce. And if I hit lead, I will actually open up that profile just one click, directly integrate with Salesforce. And in fact, every step that we're going to send right now, every email, every task is going to go in and be copied into Salesforce to make it even smarter. So let's dive back in here and take a look at sequences. So when we start reaching out, we want to make personalized emails. Why? Because we realized it's far more productive, it's far more efficient, and it simply works. And keep in mind, you should expect about 20% to open your emails if you do them well. And as well, you should have about 5 to 10% replying to you over time. So it's a numbers game. If you play with the right numbers, the right data, you're going to win over time. So I'm taking a little bit of older campaign, not the best example in the world, but basically what you can do is you can add in multiple templates. So let's just add one here and say intro. I go hi, and add in first name. Have you heard about live data? etc. Write a longer email, and then I can actually turn it on, and I can go in and I can run a live A/B split testing. So when people are added to this campaign, it will randomly send between the two, and then I can see the numbers here. So here I have a quite high opening rate. Click-through rate is great, and reply rate is pretty okay. It's in the 12% range. If I had intro and it performed better, obviously, then I would turn this one off and turn the other one on, and so on and so forth. And then when somebody don't reply to you, you always follow up because people are busy. They read your email, they forget about it, and they might not come back to you today. So we design if they don't reply to you, then 2 days, 2 hours, 40 minutes. It could be 49 minutes if you want it. The next email comes. And we actually copy that email to the Salesforce profile or HubSpot profile. So you have the communication there. Very, very straightforward. And then we simply go through all the steps. You can also design steps as you wish. There could be a phone call. You can write in what the phone call is about. If you run with a Salesforce integration, then it's a one-to-one synchronization. So you actually get the entire flows both ways. So if you finish a task in Salesforce, it's going to close in Salestools. If you finish in Salestools, it's going to close in Salesforce, and vice versa. Very, very powerful integration. You also use custom schedules, so you can choose when the emails or when the calls have to be done, and so on and so forth. You can also create manual tasks. Straightforward to use sequences. So the way we send the emails is we're going to use your email. So all you got to do is simply to go in and press here, I want to integrate Gmail, one click, Office 365, or custom HTTP server, and then add your email signature. It's really that simple. It's a one-click integration. You can also add in custom templates so you control what the team is using, or reuse the same templates and call them in when you design a task. And you can design your schedules. I always recommend if you're selling on the East and the West Coast in the US, you're going to set up, as I have here, Los Angeles and New York. So I get them in the right time zone. And normally I do not recommend to send out Monday morning. People come from from vacation, and they tend to delete everything sales related. So you want to reach them after lunch. And then Tuesday could be earlier sometimes. People, they actually respond early in the morning when they have time. It's a good day to actually come in early with emails. So we're going to widen that gap. And then you can see here, if I turn on Saturday, Sunday, you also see that it will update right here. So it's a fully integrated solution. And sequences, super simple to set up. In terms of integrations, we're launching today, and this is exciting news for HubSpot customers and Salesforce customers, the ability to enrich your data in Salesforce. So you can turn on technology sync, and there's a help desk article because you need to install from the App Exchange an application. But what that allows you to do is when I go to Salesforce, let's take this company here, netup.com. If I dive into them, then I get over the entire technology stack. So I can take a deep dive in and understand, okay, they're using Typekit, they're using Twitter advertising, Google AdWords, they're having Cloudflare and they're using Pardot, for example, which makes it easy when you reach out and you get all that information into Salesforce. You also, let's take Oracle right here. I can actually look at the technologies, and just to give you an example right here, you get a technology index inside your Salesforce application. So I can go in and actually look at all my accounts, and I also look at my leads and get an overview which of my leads and accounts are running on Drift. So in this case, I only have one, as we just launched it today, and it takes 24 hours. Every 24 hours is syncing. So I know WeWork is using Drift. If I had an integration with Drift, then I will be able to actually go out and have a better conversation with WeWork, just to give you an example. So that's the power of the integration. We are working on putting out for customers the ability to enrich with Salesforce the contact data, the lead data, and as well your account data, so you can get more details on your prospects. And the same we're doing for HubSpot. Then following, we'll do it for the more CRM. So that's where we are on that aspect today. Salestools is the first fully powered platform that allows you to prospect all the information one click. We also have the Insights plugin, which is coming out of beta here in a couple of weeks, and all customers will get full access to them. And what that simply do is very straightforward. You go to any website and prospect, you get the full overview of the technologies. So I know that you're using Google remarketing, maybe that's my driver. And I also have the ability to prospect and start the sales process from the website without even having to go to Salestools, as I've designed my sequences already. So I can go in and dive in and say, I only want CXOs, and I want the function, there will be education, and so on and so forth, or sales, marketing, finance, IT, and it will then return the individuals in the plugin with those criteria. I do the following: I can save them directly to Salestools, I can sync them to my preferred CRM that I have integrated in Salestools, or I can start a sales process directly from the plugin. And right now we're calling up and getting access to each of my sequences, and then I can pick the sequence that I would like to send to. So I can say live data is here, and voila, you start the sales process from any website on the web. Cannot be easier to be in sales today than it is now. So that is a quick from a pricing point of view, and I want to let you understand the pricing structure a little bit so you gain the maximum value out of Salestools. And I'm going to show the prospects right here. Green envelopes means it's a verified email. Yellow means it's not verified. And there's a few reasons we cannot always verify the emails. One is it's a catch-all mechanism on the server, which means we send anything to getbase.com, it gets delivered. So if we don't get a bounce back, but if we tell you that Samuel Easton's email is, as you see it right here, you will not know if he actually reads it or not. So we only verify an email when we can verify it 100%, and we only charge for that. So the ones that go yellow, that actually is not verified 100%, you don't pay for them. They're free in the house, and that's one of the most beautiful things. So you do get some free leads once in a while. And that's the only way we can be fair and transparent, because if you look at your numbers and you mix them together, Sometimes a yellow can end up in some random mailbox in the company, don't reply. And suddenly, if you do that over time in the same sequence, your numbers is going to be completely off and you cannot do proper A/B split testing. So we always recommend to have a campaign for non-verified or verified emails to actually have more insight into processes. So that was a little explanation when it comes to the pricing structure. And coming back to that, a credit means a green verified email. So that's how the credit structure is, very straightforward. So the pricing big difference is the number of prospects you get on a month. If you're gonna break into a few accounts a month, then I do recommend to go for the enterprise level. You get 2,000 verified prospects, and you get the ability to really break in. But we've seen in experience, Marketo is a customer in Europe, and what Marketo have done is to actually bring into about 30 to 50 prospects in every company because they're going all enterprise. And that's maybe in the little bit higher end, but we see normally if you go for a mid-market company, you got to work with at least 10 prospects to do it properly, because there are sales reps that believe they can sell anything. And I'm sure they're wonderful, great salespeople, but sometimes a CTO and CIO or chief revenue officer, they get a lot of sales emails. So no matter how good you are, they might not resonate or respond to it. So if you reach out low in the food chain, as you can call it, and actually start working with their colleagues or the employees or the managers, then you're more likely to get to the right person, in front of the right person. Because what we have seen is when we reach out to account executives, we have about 10 account executives we try to bring into sometimes, and you have 6 that write back, remove it from your list. But then you have those magic 2 that actually reply saying, get in front of Katrina, XYZ. She's evaluating new data tools right now. And there we go. We get in front of her, we get the deal, and Salestools succeeded. So it's all about setting your strategy up right. We do offer all new customers one-to-one onboarding with customer success. And they're going to talk about best practices and get you up and running. It just takes 2 minutes to get started with Salestools, and we really welcome you on board. And for the ones that are on the webinar who is customers, we really appreciate your business. My name is Jasper. I'm one of the founders of Salestools. I'm currently in Boston, a lovely city, a lot of smart people, and a driving tech environment right here. So if you happen to in Boston, just ping me and we can meet up. Unfortunately, I do have to go back to Europe for a few weeks tomorrow, but I'll be back in Boston by the end of the month. Thank you so much for your time. If you go directly on Salestools, you have this wonderful little chatbot here. He will answer some basic questions, but if you ask more specific, our sales team will jump on and help you if you have any questions. And you can book a demo directly here from the plugin. I do have one question right in here coming. So I have a question: if we can mine 3-4 sites and feed them into your pipeline. So I love to actually understand what sites you are referring to, so better can answer your question. As we're crawling 38 million different websites for data, we're finding revenue data, we're analyzing based on the entire ecosystem they have, and predicting data as well, and we do that so well. The company are relying on us on a daily basis. But if you dive into your question deeper, I will be more than happy to answer it right here. Thank you. So we are actually combining data from the SEC, and we are looking at M&A data. That is something that is coming into Salestools. Regarding LinkedIn, that's a closed property. I know SEC is Security Exchange. We do look at data from them. But LinkedIn, we don't touch. That's after the Microsoft acquisition. There are some scrapers out there that are violating the terms and conditions of LinkedIn. That's not something we do. And in terms of Pipedrive, we are directly integrated with them. So you can send your data directly to Pipedrive. And that's also one of the integrations. In fact, I can just show you right here. It's on our list. So we're fully integrated with Pipedrive. Very straightforward. So you can push all the data. So you have Pipedrive right here. You're just going to get your API token and then turn it green. And then when you're on your prospect page, and you can also access that in the plugin, just to give you a quick example right here, then you can actually push it, and there will be a Pipedrive button here. You can push everything over as a contact, as Pipedrive do not differentiate between leads and contacts. That's correct, Martin. You cannot do that. That's again violation on that question. So, but we have access to over 200 million prospects that are from our ecosystem. So I hope that makes sense. So that's actually all we gotta share today. And if you have deeper questions, please go to our chat, and our team will dive into that right away. Okay, thank you so much. So Martin, if you go to salestools.io, then our team will just answer all your questions in the chat as we're gonna round up the webinar. But I will also be in the chat and assist you if there's anything. I appreciate the time, all of you, and thank you so much.